everyone. Today I will be taking you through a resistance training circuit. So it'll be a full body circuit hitting all the major muscle groups of the body. What we're going to need for this circuit is our resistance band and a chair. So I'll go ahead and quickly run through the exercises that I will be demonstrating. So starting off with the step outs, going into the bicep curls, crunches, chest press, calf raises, and lastly with the shoulder raises. So with any of these exercises, it's important to have good posture. So we'll do a quick posture check here. So we want those, if we're doing these exercises standing, we want to have those ears above the shoulders, shoulders in line with those hips, and then hips and knees in line with those ankles. If we're doing these exercises sitting, we'll do a quick posture check here as well. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Those ears are still above the shoulders, shoulders in line with the hips, and knees in line with those ankles. So it's important to note here, with any of these exercises, you can do them either seated or standing. But I'll go ahead and begin. So for the first exercise, we will be doing our step out. So working a little bit on those outer leg muscles here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that resistance band. Again, I have a nice, good posture here. I'm going to take the band. I'm going to wrap it around the top of my knee here, holding it pretty snug. So it's slightly above the knee. So I'm holding it pretty snug. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to be stepping out with the foot leading with the heel. So here, it's important to note that we are taking a step. So I'm going to be stepping out here to the side. Again, my posture, I'm up nice and tall. And we're going to be stepping out to one side. And then halfway, we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Really important here to really lead with that heel. So again, we will be stepping out. We'll be going for 1 minute. So we have 6 stations today. So we'll be going for 1 minute each station. At the halfway mark, we'll go ahead and switch legs. Go ahead and get that band around you, slightly above the knee here. And we'll go ahead and step out. I'm stepping out first with the right foot. If you would like to alternate between feet, that's okay. You would just keep doing the same thing throughout the whole full minute. But if we're just working one leg at a time, we'll go ahead and switch halfway. So we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Go. Sitting up nice and tall, really leading with the heel on this one. Picking that foot up and bringing it back. Nice and controlled here. And we're about halfway. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Still leading with the heel, still standing up, sitting nice and tall. Stepping out and bringing the foot back in. Good work, almost there. Three, 2, 1, and we can relax. All right, going into our next exercise, so we can either do this exercise in a seated position or standing. I will be going ahead and doing this in the seated position since I'm already here. So for this one, we're going to be doing our bicep curls. So we're going to place the band under the feet here. Again, making sure that it's about even on both sides. I'm still in that nice and tall sitting position here. All right, so my starting position is gonna be with the elbows, arms extended, elbows tucked into the side. I'm gonna grab the band here on the sides, and I'm gonna slowly bring the palms up to my shoulder and slowly bring it back down, keeping those elbows kind of glued to the side of my body here. So we'll go ahead and do both arms at the same time. If you want to work one side of the body, we can certainly do so. And we'll just switch to the opposite arm when we're halfway. So we'll go ahead and begin here with our bicep curls. In 3, 2, 1, go. So sitting up nice and tall, we're controlling the movement all the way up and all the way down. Remembering to breathe through each exercise. So we're gonna exhale as we bring the band up. Slow and controlled. And we're about halfway. Almost there. Three, 2, 1, and we can relax. All right, going into our third exercise here, we're gonna go into our crunches. So this is a modified crunch, and we are going to be using our chair for this one. So if you've been doing the exercises standing, we'll go ahead and do this one in a seated position. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the side view here. So I'm gonna be sitting in my chair, again, with that nice posture. So my ears are in line with the shoulders, shoulders in line with those hips, and knees in line with those ankles. From this position, as you'll notice, I'm not all the way back on my chair. I'm at about the middle of the chair, slightly a little forward. And from here, I'm really gonna work on those core muscles with this one. So I'm really gonna keep those core muscles engaged. Again, my neck and spine are gonna stay aligned, and I'm slowly gonna lower myself, trying my best to reach that back of the chair. And I'm gonna use that core strength here to get myself back up. So we're gonna be exhaling as we come up and inhaling as we lower. If you find that this is still a little bit too difficult for you, we can always scooch back on the chair here a little bit. Again, starting off with that nice, good posture and slowly controlling the movement down until we touch the back of the chair here. And then we're just gonna use those core muscles to get ourselves back up. So those feet are staying planted on the floor, and that core is nice and engaged as we go back here, nice and controlled, and bring it back up. All right, so we'll go ahead and go for 1 minute here, beginning in 3, 2, 1, go. So nice and controlled, that neck and back are in line. Inhaling as we lower and exhaling as we come back up. Nice and controlled movement here. Really targeting those core muscles with this one. And we're about halfway. Keep breathing through. Keeping that back and neck aligned. 3, 2, 1, and we can relax. All right, going into our next exercise, we're going to be going into our chest press, working a little bit of those chest muscles here with this one. So we can do this exercise seated or standing. It's going to be the same movement here. So if we're standing with this one, we'll go ahead and bring the band over the back here. So I bring the band over the back. I like to have the band underneath the armpit here, so that's where I'm gonna have. You can definitely have it over the arms here, but I like to kind of have it under. It's gonna be the same thing if we're seated, we're just gonna be in a seated position here, but it's gonna be the same movement. So we're gonna hold the band here at about chest height. So at about chest height here. So we want those elbows to stay at about 90 degrees or so. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna extend forward all the way out and control the movement as we bring those hands back in. So we're holding by the chest here. We're gonna extend out as we exhale, inhale, as we slowly bring the weight back in. Nice and controlled here. It's not about speed with this one. Really working those chest muscles here. So starting position is here, and we're gonna extend all the way out and bring it back in. Again, we're still with that nice, good posture here. So always wanna check the posture before we begin any exercise. So good posture here. Again, we have a soft bend in the knees, and we're gonna go ahead and extend here for a minute with the chest press in 3, 2, 1, begin. All the way out and control it as we come back in. Really working the chest with this one. Everything is nice and aligned here. We're about halfway. Almost there. Three, 2, 1, and we can relax. All right. Going now into a little bit of those leg muscles here. We will be going into our calf raises. So we can have our chair here next to us if we need it for support. But with this one, we're really gonna focus on those back calf muscles here. So I have my chair for support if I need it. What I'll be doing, again, first starting off with that good posture. I'll be standing next to the chair here if I need it for support or balance. I can do this exercise seated as well. But all we're gonna do is we're gonna shift our weight up into our tippy toes. So we're gonna raise the heels slightly off the ground. So we're gonna shift here, and we're gonna slowly bring the heels back to the ground. So this is a slow and controlled movement. Again, I have that nice tall posture. Same thing if I'm seated, and I'm gonna bring the weight up to my tippy toes, and I'm gonna slowly control the movement as I come back down. Again, my feet are about hip width apart here, not too far apart. And we're gonna just lift here, lifting the heels off the floor, and slowly lower back down. So we'll go ahead and begin here. In 3, 2, 1, go. Nice and controlled. It's not about speed with this one. You really want to control the movement through both phases. So as we're going up and as we're coming down, really working that calf muscle here. Still standing or sitting up nice and tall. Focusing on our breathing here. We're about halfway. Almost there. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Well done. So for the last exercise here, we are going to be going into our shoulder raises. Again, this exercise can be done seated or standing. I'll go ahead and demonstrate standing. So I'll get this chair out of my way here. All right, so depending on how long your band is, you might not be able to do this exercise with both arms at the same time, but you might be able to depending on how long the band is. If you'd like to work both arms, both shoulders at the same time, I would suggest you do this in a sitting position just because of the band length. So here I'll be working one side at a time. So I'm going to start first working that right shoulder. You can do the same thing if you're in a seated position here. So I'm going to make sure I step on the band. I'm going to start with the arm extended here. Again, we have that nice good posture. Quick posture check here. Soft bend in the knees. And we're going to lift the band, lift the arm, keeping it straight to about shoulder height. And we're going to lower down. So we're going to lift to about shoulder height and relax while controlling the movement as we come down. Once we get to halfway, I'll go ahead and switch sides and work that left arm. If we're doing this on a chair, we can certainly work both arms at the same time. So if we're doing both arms, we would lift both arms here throughout the whole duration of the minute. So we'll go ahead and get started here. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Slow and controlled. Remembering to breathe here, so we're exhaling as we're bringing the band out. Really working the shoulders with this one. We're about halfway. Go ahead and switch arms if you need to. Switch sides. And we'll do the same thing. Breathing through the exercise here, controlling the movement as we go up and as we come down. 3, 2, 1, and we can relax. All right, well done everyone. So that was one round of our circuit. We'll go ahead and go into our second round here. We'll give it a quick rest.